Why is husband's name in all caps? I have a friend who is LDS, and I recently noticed that whenever she posts online about her and her husband, she puts his name in all caps. E.g., Joe and I went for a drive today and picked apples. Is this writing style dictated by the LDS faith? Probably spelled it in all caps once and autocorrect is changing it every time. My wife is LDS and I have never seen her or anyone else from her church do this. Could it be a stylistic choice? Something regional from where she was born? Copying her favorite style of Regency romance novel? I have a colleague called Raf and every time I type his name my phone autocorrects to Raf. I just have to retype it every time as I think it would be weird just saying hi Raf. Is she maybe tagging him, and his username is spelled out in all caps? Lol. Did you marry MF Doom? Is this writing style dictated by the LDS faith? I'll have things that would never occur to me for $1,200. Please. Alex. I say just ask the friend. But don't mention religion. A simple, hey, I noticed you always post people's names in all caps and I'm curious why. Would do the job. I have a pretty honest and upfront relationship with my friends, so I'd probably be like, dude, WTF is up with you posting names in all caps? My phone always capitalizes the word snowpants. I could be wrong, but I think all caps names is a Freeman on the land thing. Might just be how she wants to emphasize his importance to her. When my youngest was little, I did the PTA and one woman never referred to her husband without adding works at Google to it. That is not an LDS thing. Maybe B. Joe is an initialization Joseph Orlando Agad, for example. Sounds like she's just obsessed with him and wants to emphasize his name. Lol, what? Mormons are weird. But not that weird. I guarantee that's not a thing due to my 20 years in the Mormon faith. This is some sovereign citizen bullshit. Member of the church here. That's not something required or requested. Maybe she doesn't like him and it's an acronym for jerk-off extraordinaire. Every single time I type the word Canada my phone autocorrects to Canada. Like I just had to fix it. I don't even live there and don't recall ever typing it in caps. Lol, could be phone autocorrect. Related. Is your husband MF Doom? Nope, that's a her thing. None of my friends who are LDS do that. Ask her. As someone from Utah, no lol. Maybe she's so used to yelling at him yelling his name it's just how she thinks it's written. She probably accidentally did it once and now her phone autocorrects to it. Or maybe she can't say it without yelling. Any chance it is his initials? It's a personal quirk, not a religious thing. I have an iPhone and have a couple contacts with all caps names BC. They were shared to me. And whenever I type or use voice to text their name it auto caps it for me. Could be similar. Bob. Def not an LDS thing. Lol. I'm LDS and have never seen that. Tears of joy, probably just a typo that forever autocorrects. Maybe just for emphasis? Like the way important names in video games are sometimes in all caps, like in Pokemon for example. Or written in a different color. Sounds like they buy into the straw man theory. Personally, I found the whole conspiracy silly and won't try to even explain, but you can find information about it online. So it's not a LDS thing. It's something else entirely. I would ask her. It indicates how she's always furious with him and as a result, is always yelling his name. I'm LDS and no it's not. That's very odd. Literally never heard of this before. Weird. I'm sure she has it saved in her contacts in all caps and it auto-changes it every time. The LDS faith does not dictate how to spell or enunciate your spouse name. All caps or not all caps. Probably something she just does. Has nothing to do with the religion. Sauce used to be LDS. My phone autocorrects egg rolls into all caps because I was excited one day about dinner and now, forevermore it is egg rolls. Every time my mom would text me about someone and spell their name, it would be in caps. Turns out it was because she put their name in all caps in her contact list. Is he a sovereign citizen type? Religion is stupid. Is this writing style dictated by the LDS faith? ROFL. Sounds both ridiculous and plausible. She out her name in all caps to I. It's funny how people always assume it's the religion, or maybe they're just fucking weird. Not an LDS thing. The autocorrect guess is a good one, but I'll put forth another, admittedly unlikely theory. In the TV show Arrested Development, there is a character named Gob pronounced like the biblical Job, which are the initials for his legal name George Oscar Bluth. Maybe her husband is Jared Obadiah Evans or something. Nickname Joe. In many religions the wife's job is to make the man most important and all-knowing in the relationship. My sister tried doing this bit, it was so gross to watch, lol. Some kind of my husband is king thing? So help me God. As an ex-Mormon, no, it's not something that's dictated. The church is still incredibly chauvinistic and sexist. But that writing quirk isn't directly from the church. I'm not sure if LDS matters or not. Either way, your friend might just be fucking retarded. Joe is short for Joseph, which is probably short for Joseph Smith, the Mormon church founder who saw angels whilst drunk and on shrooms and evidently made a book out of a golden Bible, translating an unheard of ancient script by means of a rock and a hat. You have issues. To sheer amount of comments here saying maybe they meant various yet humans can correct auto. Correct. I just don't think the intelligence of Reddit now is anywhere near what it was even 3 months ago, me included, probably Grin FFS. Maybe his name is just Joe. Everyone has their own little quirks. It doesn't jump out as Aomi kind of sign of a deep-seated issue. I don't know, but I do know that you spell all caps when you spell the man name. No. That just sounds like a personal quirk or a passive-aggressive dig. I'm pretty sure this is not a religious thing, lol. All caps means it's usually a deceased person. In Joe we trust. She may be doing this from a phone and it is autocorrecting to the first time she typed his name. Is she mad at him? That's very BDSM. She has an iPhone. She has him in her phone as Joe and the phone chooses it from the contacts. I have a Teo and whenever I write to it gets autocorrected. That is definitely not an LDS thing. I grew up LDS. And that just seems weird. The only explanation I would have is she is one of the women that are obsessive about having the priesthood in their home. Maybe she once texted an acronym and now her autocorrect changes the name to all caps. One option is that it is akin to a person I saw who would write partner and I went. That person was in a dom sub-slave relationship and the capital versus lowercase was one way they showed who was dom and who was slave. I often think of that when some people overemphasize one person as being more important than the other. Probably added someone in her contacts named Joe and capitalized the entire name. Some when she types Joe as autocorrects to Joe. My mother-in-law does this but isn't LDS. I think it's just an old people thing.